Okay, I'm starting at the main and pulling back toward the house because there was so much grease in the line that it was obscuring my camera pushing down and I couldn't get a view of anything. So I probably knocked a bunch of that loose. You're going to see chunks of it when we pull out big chunks of white stuff. That's all grease that was poured down the sink. You really won't want to do that. It's a bad idea. It solidifies on the side of the walls because as soon as it hits the pipe, it cools off. And it's super gross. So what we're going to do, we're pulling back out. There was a slight lip right before the drop off into the main where there's a bit of standing water. That's pretty typical. There usually is a little lip there. It's not that big of a deal. And that's right down by where the main is. Here we go. You see, that's the water flowing. That's because I turned on a tap, just a trickle, so that I would have lubrication to push my pipe down. That's a chunk of fat that just slid through there. Because I'm pushing my scope down, I probably knocked a lot of the grease at the beginning of the pipe off. That's probably beneficial. It's going to help clean the pipe a little bit. But occasionally the camera will get obscured with some chunks. I kind of rinse it off in the water a little bit. That's the lip we're talking about before the drop in. There's just a little bit of lip right there. It's about 3 meters back from the edge because it goes to a point and then drops off and then drops into the main. And right before that drops off, right there, you can see it in the right-hand corner right here. There's a little edge of pipe. It sticks up right there. That actually might be a slight separation at that connection. As we pull out, you're going to see standard corrosion, basic debris. If you see any white chunks, that's grease that I've knocked off. That's me rinsing the camera off a little bit there in the water that I have so that I can see. We're going to pull all the way back. I'm going to be kind of quiet for a while. And then at the very end of this video, at about when it's about 7 to 6 meters from all the way back to the clean out, it becomes so obscured with the slush that I created by pushing the pipe down, by knocking all that grease off, you can't see anything. So it's going to very quickly, it's going to switch to about 22 seconds of me pushing the pipe down at first before the camera becomes obscured on the way down to just show you the level of grease was in the pipe. Except for that lip or edge ridge that I just pointed out there to you. There was no other defects. That's 23 meters away from the house, or 22 meters from where the kitchen clean out is. It's really hard to see until it's cleaned. But for the most part, you're looking at just standard debris and corrosion at this point. The white down at the bottom, that's a little bit of grease. That's nothing compared to what's at the beginning. You're going to start seeing chunks of the fat that I've knocked off. There's some right there, kind of sticking to the sides of the willow pipe. When I first put the scope in, it was so thick on the walls that it had reduced the diameter of the pipe by 50% at least. Like I said, pushing the scope down, there's some more chunks of fat that I knocked off the walls. Absolutely, you never want to pour grease down a drain. It's a really bad idea. It hits the cold pipe, it solidifies immediately, and then it clings to the pipe, creates clogs, creates a narrowing of water flow. There's some more chunks. But the joints are looking pretty good here. Now here we're seeing more debris. Now we're getting into the bigger chunks of debris. We're getting closer to the front. Here in about another meter or so, meter and a half, it's going to start to get a little harder to see. There's a chunk right in front of my camera. There we go. Now we're getting into this sludge. And here in just a moment, it's going to switch to that last 22 seconds to show you how much grease was in the front of the pipe. And that requires no explanation. And there we go. Now we're going into the pipe. This is the switch over. And you can see across the top of the pipe there. And as we push down, all this grease at the top here on either side, And here in a second, see all this white? That's all grease. Bad idea. All right, your sewer scope's about to end. Thank you very much.